we continue to define the business model diagram. So far, we had already filled something in the blocks or dimensions of value proposition here, X-trailer proposition, which is about, the trailers, the trailer products in the product family X-trailer and associated or underlying values. Market of transporters here in the customer dimension. And the business was doing or is doing activities like manage fulfillment in order to create and provide this value proposition. And of course, activities can be done not only by the business itself, but also by network partners or sometimes customers themselves, as long as the activities contribute value explicitly to the value proposition. But in our example, we just consider activities performed by the business. And the business is doing that by using or applying its capabilities. So we now get into the capabilities dimension or business model building block. We create a capability here. Capability. As was already the case with the other items in the other blocks, there is already existing model content behind this based on VDML, Value Delivery Modeling Language, which provides a more detailed representation of the business. So also here. So we can expect that we have a capabilities already. So we go to the context menu. And by the way, if you see here, you see an exclamation mark on capability, for instance, as well here on this activity. That means nothing linked yet. Here you don't have a capability exclamation mark, which means link it to underlying VDML elements. So now we link here also to the VDML, link to VDML element. And here the system suggests that we start a so-called capability offer. We will select fulfillment management. With that we have linked it, we are now able to navigate to it. I go to the context menu again and say open capability management diagram. Okay, we start that diagram. You see that there is again an element highlighted here, fulfillment management, at the top left corner. That is the element that is linked from the capability item management. It's a so-called capability offer. So what's that? Okay, let's click to its details. Maybe before we do that, see that this element is contained in a broader gray container, which is a organization unit called S&D, Sales and Delivery, which is a unit of the company, my company. And that unit provides certain capabilities like fulfillment management, fulfillment planning, product delivery. And these are supported by certain capability methods like fulfillment management method for fulfillment management capability, or the other capabilities are supported by resources, pools of resources, or certain stores of certain resources like products or other resources. But let's click on fulfillment management here. And you see that fulfillment management is an offer of what's called here a capability, which is a predefined capability in a so-called capability library. And it has all kinds of things like a definition, defined inputs, typical things that it uses, or outputs, typical things that it produces, and other related detail. This typically a capabilities or a hierarchy or breakdown of capabilities is organized in what's called a capability map. Also, the company, my company, is having such a map, which we see here. So here you see a so-called capability map. You see broader categories of capabilities: innovation, acquisition, exploitation, production. Here is fulfillment. Here you see fulfillment management, which is a capability in that category. That is the one we are using. And And when we go back to this diagram, you see that the organization unit sales and delivery is a provider of that capability called fulfillment management. There might be other providers in the organization that provides the same capability, but they do it in a slightly different way, that use other methods or use other resources, etc. So that makes a distinction between capability offer. Okay, having linked this capability offer, we go back to our business model diagram, and we are now able also to show a relationship to the activity. This relationship is showing as a solid relationship, which means there is a valid situation. So the underlying representation in VDML behind fulfillment management and managed fulfillment activity is consistent and complete. Okay, there is one element left here, network partners. We are not using a network partner in this simplistic example, but the way to define it and link it is similar to what we have earlier demonstrated on the customer dimension side, where the business is engaged in a collaborative relationship with the market, with the customers. In a similar way, it can be engaged in collaborative relationships with network partners. Maybe there is one other feature that's maybe worthwhile highlighting here. You'll see here relationships as abstractions of possibly more detailed relationships in underlying VDML models. These can be also shown and hidden on demand. For instance, if we are looking to this value proposition, we say, for instance, hide value proposition relationships. You see that relationships keep going. You can also show it again. Show relationships. Okay, so this makes you also gives you also the possibility to ask questions based on the business model. Say, for instance, for a particular customer, which proposition is targeted at that customer or at market, or for an activity, which value propositions is it contributing to, or for a network partner, which activities is it performing, etc., etc.